Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel for episode number 2. First of all, I want to start off by thanking everybody who subscribed and who left a comment. All of the Ski Gang members that subscribed because we shouted it out in the stream. Shout out to Brandon for doing that for me. I really appreciate it. Today's episode is going to be what I like to call story time. I want to tell you guys just some experiences that I went through when I was growing up. I had really different experiences going through middle school. You know, that's a really different time in your life. You really are just, you know, a lot of the times you're confused. You're trying to figure out who you're becoming or who you're going to be. I actually reached out to 2 of my really best friends from middle school. The first one being my best friend Amber. We actually spoke on the phone and we had an opportunity to catch up, but just being able to reminisce and talk about some of the experiences that we had when we were in middle school. We were really close, and we met when I was in 8th grade and she was in 7th grade. We shared a lot of mutual friends. We just really hit it off, but we were just from 2 different cultures. You know, I was Mexican. I grew up in a traditional Mexican household, and she was white, and so she, you know, her parents were, you know, very close, and her sister had like a sibling rivalry. My brothers and sisters did as well, so we just connected, you know, and we ended up just becoming really close. We had a lot of really good memories together. Another person that I reached out to was a really good friend of mine. His name is Jacob. He really kind of helped me come out of my shell in 8th grade. We had a lot of things in common. I kind of went through like a grunge phase where I wasn't like completely girly, but I was really just into a lot of rock music, alternative music, and he and I kind of connected in that way. I think everybody in my family, all my friends knew that in 7th and 8th grade, I had the biggest crush on this guy named Ryan Acker. Everybody knew. Everybody was tired of me talking about him. I was so annoying, but at the time I didn't realize that. So Jacob kind of helped me, you know, not be so shy, and he was like, you should write him a letter. And I was like, no, I can't. And he was like, you should do it. I have him in one of my classes and I'll give it to him. We went ahead and I wrote him a letter. The next day, Jacob was like, I have a letter for you from Ryan. He gave me the letter and I was so nervous. I couldn't figure out what to do, that I sat on the bus on the way home from school and I didn't know what to do. I was so nervous. So I immediately read it when I got home, and it was just so heartbreaking because he was like, you know, basically, I mean, from what I remember in the letter, he was just like, you know, I don't really like you. I don't think you're pretty. You look like an American Indian, and I'm just really not into that. And so that really was so heartbreaking. But having Jacob and Amber there really helped me kind of just pick myself up and just say, you know what, I don't need that. That's not what defines me. And so I just think that in life, you're gonna have people like Ryan Acker that are gonna wanna bring you down, and they're gonna define who you are. Honestly, you should just be yourself, and that's just what I kept doing. You know, I appreciated my friends being there for me. I appreciated them, you know, being encouraging and letting me know that I was worth so much more than someone's opinion. Sometimes we just feel like we are being defined by someone else's words, and that's really not, you know, what it is. We should really just look at ourselves and say, you know what, you're worth more than that. I really took my experience with Ryan Acker through my whole life, like even as a grown-up. I mean, I never reconnected with him. I'm not really sure like what's going on with him or anything, but in the midst of all of this, I was able to reconnect with 2 of my very best friends, and I learned a lot from them, and hopefully they learned a lot from me. We've made plans to, you know, see each other and, you know, talk on the phone often, because those are the people that really matter, the people that have taken you out of difficult situations and have helped you through. I really appreciate, you know, everyone that I've had along the way in my life, because, you know, sometimes I think of myself as a weak person, but I'm really not. You know, we need each other to encourage each other, and, you know, no matter if it's someone that you meet online or someone that you meet through social media or a family member, you know, you're worth more. Having people around you is really what's helpful. So it's really helped me out, and if I can help someone out in any way possible, you know, I want to do that. So I encourage everybody to reach out to somebody that, you know, maybe you haven't talked to in a few years, or someone that impacted your life and you just want to say thank you, or hey, you know what, like that really hurt my feelings. I think it's really good to have that kind of closure. I remember one time, it was the last day of school, Amber and I don't know what we were thinking, honestly, because like I think back on it now and I don't know how anybody could get away with this, but it was the last day of school. Clearly we were bored and we were just like, you know what, let's just egg the bus that comes by. So we went inside, even though I knew that getting eggs from my house was probably not the best idea because like my mom would get so mad at me. But we ended up going and getting some eggs. It was probably, I mean, if I had to take a guess, or I mean, I don't really remember exactly how many, maybe 4. Maybe we got 2 each. We knew that the elementary school bus came by at a certain time, and so we just kind of stood right by my driveway, and as soon as it passed by, we just started throwing eggs at it. It was just like one of those things that you don't ever forget, but you're like, why would I do something like that? That doesn't even make any sense, and who would get away with that? I mean, we were just so carefree at the time that we just didn't even, you know, think anything of it. That was one of the few things that I remember. I remember always just going trick-or-treating and, you know, just going around the neighborhood and going to all of our friends' houses, and, you know, we weren't too cool for that. We just kind of, you know, we just did whatever. Some of the things that I remember about Jacob is us just having a similar interest in music. We listened to a lot of alternative bands like, you know, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins was one of the big ones. Just, you know, being able to connect on that level through music. You know, I remember we would talk on the phone on the afternoons after school, and we just connected. Like, he was just somebody that I trusted and that I went to. And, you know, now after I talked to him on the phone the other day, I just think that, you know, I knew why I trusted him. He's just so easy to talk to and was so just open. You know, he was always the type of person to be like, you know, don't let that get you down, and just very encouraging. So I can see how he and I were really close. Well, thanks for watching my video, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell so that you can get some notifications, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.